guys, Finn here, welcome back to the channel. This is one of these strange videos where I'm choosing my words very carefully here. I probably didn't think I'd ever need to actually make, but perhaps that was a mistake on my part. And this is a bit about airgun safety and certain legalities requiring air rifles in the UK. And I'll tell you what, let's put this on, guys. I'm so embarrassed by it. I've watched a video from a British guy on a UK channel. I'm not going to mention it, but the guy is a complete and utter idiot. Have you guys ever watched a video and thought, literally, what the hell is going on here? And I'm sorry guys, but I watched this and Jesus, I was shocked. Some people I wouldn't entrust with a Nerf gun or a water pistol, let alone what could be a potentially lethal air rifle. I'm not going to name the channel. I was tipped off by another member of this channel to go and watch it, and it was shocking, absolutely shocking. In this video, this chappie not only pointed his air rifle at the camera guy, whether it's loaded or not, it's inexcusable. He was shooting in an area where members of the public had free access and were freely roaming. Someone walking their dog with their little child. No safe backstop. And I would question the legality of where he was shooting. Allegedly, he had full permission from a farmer. I would question that. However, it doesn't distract from the fact, the point I'm making, that he actually had an air rifle pointing at the camera guys. And when I mean the camera, there was someone behind the camera, and oh my good God, it was shocking. I've never, and considering this video was entitled something about safety with air rifles, whatever, it was a classic examples what not ever to do as responsible air gunners. And after watching that, all I could think is, it's this sort of idiot what's going to end up making sure like English and Welsh shooters are going to be certificatized before long and having our rifles put on ticket. And to be fair, it's hard to see why that wouldn't be the case when you've got idiots that are able to get their hands on these. It was shocking. Right, oh God, it's giving me a headache even thinking about it. Sorry about this, guys. Right, airgun safety. Let's just go through a few cardinal ones here, guys. Under no circumstances do you ever point an air rifle or indeed air pistol, or even that matter any other firearm, at another person. And specifically, I'm not talking about home defence, because that is null and void in the UK, but I am talking specifically about UK shooters. There would never ever be a reason for you to point an air rifle or air pistol at another person. You just don't do it. Always be muzzle aware, guys. Don't muzzle sweep someone. If you're wondering what muzzle sweep is, guys, that's when you inadvertently swing your muzzle across. Always carry your air rifle in a safe manner. Ideally it should be pointed at the ground at all times, but always in a safe direction. Never have anything in front of your muzzle what is unsafe to do so. By that, guys, I mean always be mindful of what you're doing. Straight up in the air if needs be, but preferably, I was always taught as a ex-soldier, I was always taught to carry firearms in what in the UK is known as a non-threatening posture, which is literally across the body with a pointing down. Notice, guys, when I carry it like that, fingers off the trigger. The only time you should be putting your finger on the trigger of any firearm is immediately before you're about to shoot it. There is no other reason. Keep your fingers clear, it prevents accidents. Safety catches should be applied at all times, but never ever rely on a safety catch. Safety catches, by nature of the beast, a mechanical aid. They can fail. Don't rely on a safety catch. A safety catch does not make up for unsafe practices. But saying that, if you have a loaded air rifle and your air rifle does have a safety catch, it should be applied until you're ready to shoot. If you're transporting your rifle around, or you're not, say you're not in a non-hunting scenario and you're using a break barrel, just break the barrel of it so people can see. It's all about the perception as well, guys, so another shooter can see, like, the condition of your rifle, it's safe. Right, shooting at targets or whatever you're shooting at, always be mindful of the backstop. Even a 12 foot-pound air rifle has the energy to carry a pellet at least 300 metres. Be mindful of what's behind your target. Be mindful of shooting at water. If it at all possible, avoid shooting at water. Always be conscious of the fact that shooting at water, the pellets will ricochet off, and be mindful of the fact of where it's going to land afterwards. Same again if you're shooting against hard surfaces, i.e. farm buildings like concretes and farmyards. Remember, even if you're pesting and then you hit your quarry like a rat or whatever, after the pellet passes through, it's still got sufficient velocity and energy to cause severe mischief should you be shooting in an unsafe manner, not checking your backstop. Guys, at the end of the day, it's all common sense. I never thought I'd be having this conversation. But obviously some need educating, and judging by the chappie's comments on his channel, some of them seem to be encouraging him. It was awful to watch. Fingers off trigger, safety catch applied. Show your air rifle is in a safe condition if at all possible. Going in and out of vehicles, your rifle should be unloaded. I cannot see the time you'd really need to be carrying a loaded rifle in a car. And certainly if you're in a vehicle and travelling on a highway in the UK and your rifle is loaded, quite apart from the safety considerations, unless you've got a damn good excuse or lawful authority, you are committing an offence and the police will prosecute you. Don't do it. Right, guys, on this bloke's channel, this isn't a safety thing, it's legality side of things. I'm no lawyer, but I have a good understanding of trespass laws, a very good understanding. Normally, if your rifle is cased and it must be unloaded, magazines, if it's a magazine PCP, mag of the rifle, no pellets in the magazines. And this is another point I want to put across, guys. In the eyes of the law in the UK, a loaded magazine, whether it's attached to the rifle or not, if you have a rifle with you and a loaded magazine, in the eyes of the law, you are in possession of a loaded air rifle. So just be mindful that they will prosecute you for it. But let's just quickly cover something here. Right, so you've been out shooting, you're on your way home, your gun's all cased up, unloaded, the pellets are separate from the rifle, say in the glove box your rifle's cased up and in the boot of your car, and you pull into a garage or stop off at a supermarket, I don't know, or a shop or anything like that. We'll go for a supermarket. I don't know, maybe you want a pack of cigarettes. Is it legal? Well, I've heard it suggested that this is not legal because it can be construed as armed trespass. This is not strictly true, guys, because for armed trespass to take place, you have to be trespassing initially to start with. And supermarkets have a thing where you have an implied public right of access. So the supermarket car park would be more defined as a public place. However, there's a caveat to that. If you are prohibited from entering that the premises of that supermarket, just say for argument's sake, you've been stupid enough to go shoplifting, you've been caught and they've issued you a banning letter. The banning letter will state on there, or it'll be called a trespass notice, will state on there that your rights as a member of the public to enter any premises of that particular retailer have been withdrawn. So, by very nature, if you have coming back from shooting and you've got your air rifle, say in the boot of the car, and you've got a mate with you and you say, can you pull into the supermarket car park so we can run in and get a packet of cigarettes. If you got stopped for whatever reason and found in possession of that air rifle, you would be nicked. And for my American friends, nicked means arrested for armed trespass, because you've already entered as a trespasser. Your rights of a member of the public have been withdrawn to enter those premises. So from going from a standard trespass, which is a civil matter, into a criminal matter, which is armed trespass. So don't do it, guys. Normally I'd like to think us shooters are all law-abiding citizens as such and wouldn't do it anyway, but it's just something to bear in mind. Now, on the flip side of this chappie, whose channel shall remain nameless, wanted to know if he could transport his air rifle on public transport, a bus, train. So he phoned up the police. That's probably the only good thing he ever done in the video. He phoned up the police and they said, yeah, it's perfectly legal, provided the gun is covered in a case, unloaded, obviously not with the pellets carried separately, so on and so forth. So then this guy phones up the train company and asks them, and they state quite clearly that they do not allow transportation of any sort of firearms on their train. So by nature of the beast, by them telling him that he wouldn't be allowed to transport it, by being sneaky, even though initially he wasn't breaking the law, by breaching the company policy, even though policy does not overreach the law, by them saying no to him, he is then, in my mind, committing armed trespass. Don't do it, guys. Don't create problems to ourselves. Armed trespass carries a very, very severe custodial sentence. It isn't worth doing it. So, sorry about this, guys. I really, really need to get out onto the farm and actually do a full-on safety video on the do's and don'ts of when shooting out on the ground rather than sit here, because it's more easier to demonstrate. But I will always say, guys, don't point air rifles or air pistols at anyone. There's no need, there's no excuse for it. It's ignorance of the highest order. Accidents can and do happen. Bear in mind, guys, I saw on this chappie saying it was unloaded. That doesn't wash with me, not one iota. You treat all firearms and in air rifles, etc., etc., as loaded. That is basic principles of safety. So treat these with a bit of respect. Don't do stupid things or watch idiotic channels where they're promoting unsafe practices. Common sense rules. If it feels wrong, invariably it will be wrong. So don't cost us our sports, guys. Don't cause someone an injury. Don't injure yourself. Don't get yourself in trouble with the law. It's easy. I would recommend anyone with any issues in regarding safety, what is good and not good practice, should we say, to go on Basque website and actually read up on it, and it will tell you the do's and don'ts. Or go onto the gov.uk site, Air Rifle Safety, and it will give you not only best practice, it will give you the law regarding it as well. So my humble apologies for this video, guys, because I thought we're all grown up human beings and it wasn't needed, but obviously it's not the case, because some people, well, just some people, and I'll leave it there. Cheers, guys, and I'll catch you next time.